demonstration will highlight connection methods for creating spider elements. There already is a similar video that shows how to create geometry-based proximity spiders. This video is going to contrast different approaches for the same type of connection shown in that video. Listed here are 4 methods to create spider elements in Simcenter 3D. The example model is shown as well. The demonstration will compare and contrast the methods. 3 of the methods rely on the 1D connection command, and the last method uses the universal connection command. You also see listed selection of nodes manually, by stacked smart selection, and by stacked selection recipes. These methods will react differently with respect to changes to the model. Here's my example model. It is a sheet metal component that has 4 holes. Each of the holes has a nice paved mesh around it. My intent here is to create a spider element going from the center point into the edge of the hole, plus 1 additional layer of nodes into the face at each location. So 4 spiders, 2 of them will be circular, 2 of them will be elliptical, and they will all have legs going from the center location, 2 layers of nodes into the face. Maybe as a little bit of background, I want to look at some of the aspects of the points in terms of their attributes and also the edges. So let me look first at the points, and this comes into play when we define selection recipes and smart stacked selections. So if I look at the properties here of my 4 points, you can see I have an attribute. It's an integer-based attribute and titled C node. It has values 1000 or 10,001 to 10,004. And so those will help me on selecting nodes by attributes on points. Similarly, if I look at my polygon edges in that region about the point holes, I'm going to look at the properties, and I have that same attribute defined on the edges for a given location. It's either going to be 10,001, 2, 3, or 4. Okay, so that's a little bit of background relative to the attributes in the geometry, which I assigned in the idealized part. And now I'm going to start creating spiders. Before I do that, actually, I need to create 2 more nodes. I have 2 nodes created here in the first 2 holes, one here and another there, as the red asterisk indicates. I want to create 2 more associated to my geometry, and I do that with the onCurveEdge command, which also accepts points. So I'm going to select a point and apply. I get a node. Select another point and OK, and I get my 2 additional nodes associated to that geometry. Now I'm going to go and exercise the 1D connection command 3 times. First, it's going to be a fully manual with no ability to edit the connection. Create that first spider here, selecting a single node, and set my selection to node. And then for my leg nodes, my targets, I'm going to area select by circle, picking nodes, and area select out the 2 layers of nodes. Notice also it's telling me it deselected the 1 node at the center because it was selected as a source, and it can't be in the target. So now I can go ahead and create this element it shows up as a connection mesh, and when we update the geometry, we'll see that this connection will not update. My second method is going to be a spider in the elliptical hole. This time I'm going to turn on this editable node-to-node connection, and I'm going to use stacked smart selection methods to pick up my target nodes. The source node is still going to be the same. I'm going to pick a node, and then the target, instead of area selecting around an elliptical hole, I'm going to use stacked smart selector methods to walk from the edges to the elements and to the nodes. So I'm going to first select related nodes related to polygon edges, and then I manually pick my 4 edges around that hole. It's going to identify those 12 nodes, and then I'm going to add a related elements. It's going to identify 12 elements. I can even filter for elements. So this could filter, say, by element type, and I can filter by, say, linear quad. That's what these elements are. And I'll OK here, and it'll still give me the 12 related. And then I can also finish this by saying related nodes, and then I get my 24 nodes related to those 12 elements. And I could say OK here, and that selection of those 24 nodes, unfortunately, it's a very nice recipe that I defined for the selection, but it's not actually a recipe that will replay. Smart selection methods don't replay. So when my geometry updates, I'm going to lose the selection of these 24 nodes, even though I'm saying, well, this connection can be editable. So we'll go ahead and create that. And now I have a second spider in my model. So the third spider is going to be circular hole here, and I'm going to use selection recipes in my 1D connection. So before I do that, I'm going to review these 2 selection recipes here. If I edit this first one, we'll see that it is similar to that smart selection strategy that I used in the previous command, where I'm finding a point by an attribute. If I look at that rule, says, it's looking for the attribute titled CNode and a value of 10,001, and it finds that point there. And I'm adding the related node, it finds it, and we're all good. Well, I'm going to clone that one. Instead of using the 10,001 value, I'm going to change that value to 10,003. I'm going to edit the attribute here. So as well. And now we see that the correct node in the third hole is being identified. So OK this. I wanted to clone this, and then I'm not deleting the source, so I say OK here, and I get a second or third, actually, selection recipe identifying a core node. Then I need to do that for my leg nodes too. Let's take a look at this selection recipe and see how it is defined. It is looking for polygon edges based on an attribute, and you'll see that that attribute is that same C node, and the value is 10,001. And I'm looking for the related nodes to those edges, finding the related elements. I filter for the related elements, define just the quads and not say the spiders and the quads. The related nodes to those quad elements, and then I get the 24 nodes there. So now let's just clone that. So 10,001 leg nodes I'm going to clone. Going to be 10,003 leg nodes. Edit the attribute to use a 3 instead of a 1. Enter. And now I've got the correct set of nodes at the third hole. Now that I have my selection recipes defined, I can create a 1D connection for my spider. It's going to be editable, and I'm going to use selection recipes instead of manual node selection. So for my source, I pick that C node 10,003 selection recipe, and for my target, I'm going to pick a selection recipe as the 10,003 leg nodes. And OK this, and I get my third spider here. And then the fourth one will be similar to the second, or to the third, but it's going to be a universal connection. So here I'm going to define a rigid universal connection, and I'm going to put selection recipes as my source and targets. So the rigid universal connection will ask you to pick or define a connection between two targets, a first target and a second target. But if I set this to spider, I can set my second target to none. In fact, I'm only creating a single spider in this example. So it's asking me to pick either a node, a mesh point, a point, or a selection recipe for my center selection. And I'm going to pick that C node 10,004. And then for leg nodes, I'm going to, again, pick a selection recipe that identifies nodes. And it's going to be 10,004. Go ahead and say OK this, and I get my universal connection defined there. One last step is to realize that universal connection either as RBE2 or RBE3. I'm going to do it as an RBE2 and say OK here. Hide the universal connection, and then you can see the spider element created there from the universal connection. So now the universal connection, that mesh will update. The 1D connection using selection recipes, that mesh will update. The spider element that used stacked smart selection selection, even though it is editable, I can make changes to these selections, but notice it's picked 24 nodes, and it doesn't remember how I picked those 24 nodes. So if these nodes change during a remesh, they will change. This is not going to update. And then first connection, I can't even edit it. I didn't have that editable option turned on. So that's what we expect from the geometry changes. So let's go make some geometry changes. I have a move face feature here that is suppressed. It's going to move the holes at all four locations when I unsuppress it. It moves the holes to the right. If I idealize part, the points have moved with the holes, and my mid-surface feature has updated. And then I go back into the FEM. That the geometry is up to date, the points have moved, the holes have moved. I need to update my meshes. So I'll go ahead and update my mesh. And it tells me that some of the meshes have not updated. Do you want to look at the the log. And I'm not going to look at the log. And I'll just describe what happened. So what happened was our first mesh, spider, got blown away because it wasn't editable. And then our second one, again, its leg nodes could not be identified, so it also essentially got blown away. But I had that set as editable, so I should be able to edit this. You see that I do have my first node selected here, but all my leg nodes are deselected. So I can go and reselect those and fix my mesh there. My connection here, for my third spider using 1D connection, that used selection recipes, and that updated. So if I look at, again, that edit, you can see that it's using the selection recipes, and it was able to update using the selection recipes. And then the universal connection able to update as well, since it was using the same selection recipes as the 1D connection. So that's the differences I wanted to show in the different methods, the behavior between manual spiders using 1D connection and recipe-based spiders using 1D connection and universal connection.